So this old rose is over 100 years old, and well, it's quite a story, really. When I was about 25 years old, there was a little piece in the grass where I was mowing up at the old farmhouse, about that big. You could just see a little bit of rose leaf. I asked my father, I says, was there ever a rose up there? And he says, well, he says, my father had one up there, and my grandfather, he said, been there for years. He says, but we've been mowing it off. He said, nothing there now. I said, well, I think there is. I says, so I went up and I weeded around it, and by the end of the summer, I had a pretty good bush, probably 20 inches high. And, well, that bush there now is, well, approaching 7 feet. It gets big if you don't keep it trimmed back, and I didn't trim it last year. And just today I got to cut the garlic scapes too. I got a lot of stuff to do here. I haven't been filming. I'm just so damn busy. But them garlic scapes all got to be cut off today. Ground's too dry on that further side. They're not doing good over there, but they're doing good on this end. And yeah, the old horseradish looking good. A few weeds in it, but anyway, back on my rosebush story. I got that to bloom the second year. Turned into a beautiful bush. And then father told me he'd give me the farmhouse, and then later he said, well, I'm going to will it to you. I ain't going to give it to you. So I said, screw this, I ain't going to keep dumping money into it. So I moved and went to West Virginia. And of course, when I come back from West Virginia, my brother was living there, and he'd given him the farm. He signed it right over to him. One of them bullshit deals, you know how family is. So anyway, the rose, they'd mowed it right off. And I'm like, what a bunch of peckerheads. So I asked my father, I says, any chance I can have that rose? He said, yeah, you go dig the goddamn thing up, he says. So I went up. My brother and them weren't too happy about it, but I took a shovel full of that lawn right out. Took that rose bush up here. We planted it, and it loves where it's at. We don't fertilize it, we don't do nothing to it, and it just blooms. So anyway, yeah, I thought I'd do a little, I know I've probably told that story before on that rose bush, but it's just kind of a neat story how old it is. You know, it almost would have died eventually. But let's go on out and check out the garden here. We, no sign of the potatoes yet, but they've only been in about a week, so won't have. But we'll go across the garden rows. It's all planted except for a couple of small, real small spots. Hopefully the stabilization is working on this camera this morning. Some days it does, some days it doesn't. Sometimes I think the gyroscope there don't work. But we've got some hot weather coming next week. So, and I don't even know what these are. They're pumpkins of some sort. I don't know, spaghetti squash, butternut. I didn't mark none of it because you don't have to, you know. I mean, later on you know what it is. So there's some beans there. I know it's foolish to transplant beans, but we've got seeded beans beyond it. But that'll get us an early crop. And yeah. So all of our eggplants doing good. We've been cultivating as we've been picking rocks. Now so far we filled that yard bucket on that. Actually it's a 1.3 I think bucket on that cat up there. We filled that 3 times. So we're just starting on the 4th time. And yeah, there's probably only 2 of the small buckets on that tractor, so it won't be much. We have picked a bunch of rocks. That's what I've been doing lately. And usually by the time you pick rocks all day, you're tired. These ruby dawns, they're just gonna bloom. They need to be strong. I got to put some posts up. Yeah, so they're looking good. Let's go over to the lettuce. So the romaines, they're just getting established. I'll start pushing the centers up before long. This here is like a butter crunch or something. I don't remember what it's called. But they're only maybe, I don't know, 2.5 weeks from being able to be picked. They're doing real good. And yeah, the peppers, they're just starting to branch out and make a nice plant. They've finally got anchored in good. And as you can see, I got a strip here I got to go ahead and cultivate on the edge. But I haven't been up and down. You can see I got rocks over there I still got to pick. But I almost got all the rocks. I probably got another hour's worth of picking, and I'll have all the rocks out of here for this year. And then we can go on to something else. Maybe painting on the barn again. I got to plant all the rhubarb in this further side. But let's go in the greenhouse. We'll see the tomato plants here we got strong. So this house here is pretty well empty. We got a few waves here. And yeah, a few things. Got some pretty nice stuff left, but most of the stuff in here we lugged outside because these are all perennials and they don't like the heat. But let's check out the put that coffee cup down so we can look. Yeah, these are finally strong. They're right up to the top. And yeah, I got some nice, that's a nice tomato. Let's take that one right off. That's got enough red on it, we'll pick it. Oh yeah, get rid of that stem. So anyway, yeah. Carol put that on the counter in about 3 days. That'll be perfect. So these big pots here, they have to be watered twice a day. I do them about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But you know, that's got some beautiful hands on it. So this one here is starting to run an extra one. We'll snip that one off, let these go. But I gotta string some of them again. That one's got to be strung. This one I haven't strung for Christ, at least a week. So anyway, just a little bit more work to do. Seems like we're wicked busy. I haven't done any videoing lately. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. Okay, we're in the number 3 greenhouse where all the flowers are. Beautiful calabacoas. All kinds of pretty stuff in here. Getting pretty empty. One of these beautiful cannas in the back. The summer people, as they come up, they'll start buying them. But school just got out everywhere, so the summer people haven't really got here yet. Carol is watering. Love this coleus, this color. Pretty. So anyway, we're supposed to have a group of artists come and do some painting here today. So we put our dirt over there, took the pallet out that was sitting here on the floor so they'd have more room. They're gonna do some painting. I don't know what they're gonna paint, but there's plenty to choose from. So anyway, our Swiss chard's almost ready to eat. It gets about another 4 inches high, and man, oh man, is that gonna be good. We might not have enough here to sell commercially, but we got enough here to eat. Onions are just starting to bulb up on the bottom. They're getting there. The yellows always grow a bigger bulb than the red for some reason, but the red has a stronger flavor. Carol likes the red, I like the yellow, but she uses both of them, so she compromises. And yeah, this is a tomato house, and got a lot of flowers in here. I don't think there's any of the rhodocitons left. Them have all been sold that were in here. But this is a Russian sage, I believe it is. You can just see those little tiny flowers in there. The bees love them, believe it or not. During a hot day, the bees will be in here. But our peppers, they're getting pretty big. They love the heat in here. Hard to keep them watered, but they're doing good. We sell a bunch of them every day, so. And you know, we're just picking our cucumbers off of the plants. You know, there's a nice one there. Pop that bad boy off. One right here that's big enough to take. I saw it yesterday. That's a nice one. I might leave it one more day. That one right there is big enough, but I gotta, well, I can go to the other side maybe and get it. Yeah, there's just a handful. That's just to get started. I gotta get watering in here. It's 8:30 and people will be showing up here in a half hour. And I can tell that one there is dry because it tipped over. That's usually a pretty good sign they went dry. So anyway, we'll get back to watering. Well, it was beautiful 20 minutes ago. Sun was shining. As you can see, we got some rain here. I don't know if we got an inch of rain, but we got probably a good half inch in about 10 minutes. Had a bunch of hail bouncing in the bucket there, but nothing big enough to hurt any of the plastic, I don't believe. So yeah, it's kind of a messy day here for a little bit. Well, me and Carol,
You never saw that, huh?
we're just getting back from riding about 50-60 miles in the old Chev. She rode like a champ. We got the pups with us. They're ready to go in the house. Wow. Yeah, the old girl run good. Didn't miss a beat. So anyway, that rain we got earlier, 0.96 inches. That was in, most of it was in about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. It was a hard rain. Anyway, yeah, been a good day. Got a lot done, got all of my rocks picked. And yeah, the rest of it was just helping Carol and doing mundane things. So anyway, keep safe everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.